A problem that I had for a while and still sometimes have is the feeling or the idea that I'm not doing enough, that I need to do more. And when you feel that you need to do more, you start to feel like you're not good enough. You believe that you're not good enough because you haven't reached a certain point. You haven't reached the place that you want to be. And the problem with this is that self improvement is not about reaching a certain point. It shouldn't come from a place, it shouldn't stem from a place of self pity that you need to be at a certain level to be content, to be happy, to be satisfied. And it makes self improvement something that is does more bad than good because it should be about helping yourself. It should be about proving. But it makes you feel worse and worse when you don't reach these goals, and it makes you feel more and more that you aren't good enough. And it keeps reassuring yourself in your mind that you aren't good enough, and that unless you do these things, you aren't good enough. Because you believe it's a necessity that you need to do more. And that even though you're doing things right now that are good, you need to do more in order to be satisfied, in order to be fulfilled. And I think a lot of people also think like this, that it is a necessity to reach this point in order for them to reach a certain point, for them to feel satisfied, for them to be happy. And the problem is, self improvement isn't about that. Self improvement shouldn't be based off self pity. It shouldn't be driven from needing to be better. It should be driven from wanting to be better. Because at the end of the day, we need to feel that we're enough in order to be fulfilled by self improvement and by reaching our goals and doing these things that we do every day, meditating, reading, to have these things to fulfill us. We need to believe that we're enough. Because if you go on believing that if you don't reach a certain point and that you always need to do more to be satisfied, you will never be satisfied. Because we're not perfect. We make mistakes. And every small mistake, every little thing you mess up on, every little thing you don't do will make you feel like you're not enough. It will reinforce your idea that you're inadequate. And that's why, for so many people, self improvement is unfulfilling. It just doesn't feel like it's helping. And you never feel like you're enough. You have to change your mindset about your beliefs about self improvement. It isn't to become something because right now you aren't good enough. To become something that you will one day be good enough when you reach a certain point. Because at the end of the day, you're never going to be satisfied if you go on believing like this. You need to change your mindset from believing that you need to be better, you need to do more, to you desire to be better because you love and care for yourself, because you do believe that you are enough. And when you start believing this, when self improvement starts to stem from a place of self love and self care and a belief that you are enough, it becomes so much more satisfying, even when you are doing the same things as you were doing before. It becomes so much more satisfying because the things that you don't do, the things that would previously have made you feel that you weren't enough, would reinforce that idea. They don't really have an effect on you anymore. You see the things you've done and the progress you've made, and you're satisfied with it. Change your mindset, change your ideas about self improvement. Because if you don't, self improvement will do nothing for you. It will make you feel worse and worse, and it will never make you satisfied.